Emery Hunt, the czar of the playbook here with Football Game Plan at the 2022 East-West Shrine Bowl, Las Vegas, Nevada, with Billy Taylor, long snapper, Rutgers University. How you doing, man? Always want to talk to a long snapper, man, because you guys are the most underrated aspect of special teams. And I'm going to tell you why. I don't think people understand the skill that's involved in long snapping. The time that has to be quick from snap to hand determines everything. Take me through that process. How critical of that, and how much have you practiced to shrink that time?
Sure, I appreciate the recognition. Yeah, that's something that's stressed everywhere you go. That the kick, any field goal kick has got to be off in 1.25, and any punt they look to get the ball off in under 2 seconds. You know, these things, and as you've seen in recent games, if operations don't get off, that kick get blocked, punts get blocked, and you can lose games. So I think the snapper plays a critical role in that, getting the ball in a good spot, because it could be ball can come back 1,000 miles an hour, but if it's all over the place, it's going to take a while for the punter or the holder to get the ball down. But yeah, like it's what we train all day. It's working the operation, so I'm looking forward to get to work with these guys and having a good game next week.
You know, it's interesting. I remember back in college practices, we always had people used to try to play around and try to see if they could long snap, because no one gave the guys credit. No one tried to kick, no one tried to punt. Everyone tried to throw, everyone tried to long snap.
Yeah.
Is there a certain technique that's involved? Because it's different than a shotgun snap by far.
Yeah, so I've seen the same thing, that everybody long snapped in high school, so everybody's got their own experience. But it is definitely different, because a lot of guys, you'll see they bend over and they use one hand and they'll try and do the one hand motion. That's a little old school. There is a ton of technique, and I think you'd be surprised with if I broke down everything that goes into my snap, all of the different angles and the different positions you're trying to hit with your body. It's like even kicking, punting is a lot of it's the same way. A lot of stuff that you don't really see that goes into it, that really makes the technique what it is.
Now, on the flip side, once the ball snapped to kick, here's where the fun starts. Because you guys usually are the first ones down the field, but you're also the first ones to get sacrificed. What is it going to change for you guys to start making that tackle initially? How hard? I'm joking, but because I was a punt returner, so I understand. You guys at a disadvantage.
Right.
How hard is that running down the field? You guys usually the first one to get.
Right. So in the Big Ten, I mean, every returner we're playing is likely going to end up playing on Sundays. So there's some very good athletes, and I'll admit that I'm not quite the athlete that some of those guys are. So yeah, you run down. That's all well and good. A lot of the terminology we use is like cutting off the field, stopping the vertical return, getting the guy to buzz his feet a little bit. It's if you have a guy who can run down and who can tackle a returner one-on-one, then you got a really, really good long snapper, and as well as getting the ball back there in good time. But it's a rare ability, and like I said, a lot of these guys are some of the best athletes in the world. You're trying to tackle them in a completely open field. It's not easy, but somebody's got to do it.
Hey, you guys make it look easy, man. But it's funny because you know how college football is, where everyone on the team, everybody has a role, right? Whatever your position is. But we all have a secret skill. Like, I remember one of my teammates, Deshaun Jones, was a D lineman. He was like 6'5", 330. Had the strongest arm on the team, like a throw ball 80 yards, right?
80.
What's your secret skill?
I got hobbies that I work in a little bit. I wouldn't know if I'd call any of those. I have a pretty good arm. A long toss with some of the guys after practice. Secret skill. I'm pretty dangerous in the kitchen. I could cook. Okay. I could cook pretty well. Maybe I'm not that interesting. I don't know if I.
Hey, you say cook.
Yeah.
I'm from New Orleans.
Okay.
What's your dish?
Speaking of New Orleans, I make a mean gumbo.
Time out.
Yeah.
What color is your roux? Because if it's
dark.
All right. Proceed. What else?
Okay. Start with a dark roux. Then you throw the what do they call it? Cajun celery, bell pepper, onion.
Okay. Keep going. I'm checking off boxes.
Throw all that in. Let that get a little color. Once the onions are translucent, then we'll throw in. I go chicken stock. At this point, I've already browned off my chicken. I don't like shrimp, so I don't put shrimp in mine.
Okay.
So
it's a negative,
that's
but go ahead.
preference.
Okay,
But
gotcha.
and I'll do andouille sausage. So I've already got the chicken and the sausage browned off in the pot before I started the roux. Once the vegetables come up to a boil with the chicken stock in there, then I'll throw the meat back in. Season heavy with cayenne pepper to get a little heat, onion, garlic, and meat comes in last. Let that simmer for probably hour or two, and then you're ready to eat. I don't like serving over rice. I know a lot of people do that. I like a thick gumbo. I don't like a runny gumbo over rice.
Gotcha. So okay. So you like more of of like a. It's almost like you could have it as its own dish.
Sure, like a soup.
Soup.
Yeah,
Bingo.
yeah.
I got you. I was about to give you a negative, but you explained it thoroughly that you could. That's how I cook my okra etouffee. So
Okay.
sometimes you can put it over rice. Sometimes you can just eat it by itself. So
Uh-huh.
like we here's that, man. It's been great talking shop with you. Learn a little bit about you. You know, now you're ready. New Orleans is ready. I don't know if you've ever been, but now you can go. You know what I'm saying? And I approve. I'll stamp off. They'll ask me, and I'll be like, yeah, he's good to go. Yeah, he's good to check off for you. But I appreciate you, man. Good luck this weekend and continue to move forward. Obviously, you're doing great things because you're here. And just go out there and show and prove, man. We'll see you on Sundays.
I hope so. God willing.